All right. I keep thinking to myself or wondering, when is the last video going to be made? Again, I told you from the beginning I could easily talk over an hour on this subject because I have a lot of memories of Jeremie, especially if I go back in time and look at some old emails, which I've been doing lately, just for my own personal records and to go down memory lane. But basically, I'm going to try to discuss things that I did not talk about in the other videos. So yeah, I pulled up some old emails. Many was between me and legal advisors on suing Jeremie and going after him, and the transcripts I had or the court documents that were used. When he got served in Canada, which again he did get served, but it got shut down, and I'm upset about that. I don't really want to talk about that now. Like I said, the legalese in which Jeremie used to take advantage of the lax law that Arizona has to scam people and steal from them and move back to Canada and pretty much use Arizona as a playground to do his shady businesses. He has a history of doing this for over 20 years, by the way. Uh, so yeah, I went through some old emails between me and Jeremie, and one of the basically, I don't know if I mentioned in other videos, but he wanted me to write him an apology email for smearing him on Facebook and all that, and I didn't want to do it because writing an apology doesn't mean anything because he still hasn't paid me back. Like, pay me back first, make it right with me. You stole from me, and then I could write the email. But because he never paid me back or never attempted to, I never wrote him the email he wanted. But of course, he would just use that to avoid paying me anyways, and wanted to probably share that email with others to say, "Look, Sean's crazy. You know, he's just mad that I moved to Canada." That's what he wanted me to basically tell everybody, or mention that in an email. And again, a lot of that was text message exchange back and forth, which again, I have that disc full of pictures. I still haven't uploaded them to get those. But again, I don't have a computer that can read a disc, and I've been busy massaging people and just busy working in general. Um, so one of these days, I'll bring it to somebody's house who can read it and then pull up more pictures. But basically, yeah, this is what Jeremie emailed me back, and after I asked him basically, when are you going to come to Arizona, what time frame should you pay me back, all that. I'm not going to say all this stuff because it's kind of a long email I sent him. I was pretty pissed off, but basically he said, "Sean, trying to sue me will not produce the money. I am frustrated by your constant harassment and the lack of discretion you used when you smear me on Facebook. The apology is overdue. I have told you I am willing to pay you back. It will not happen by the means you are attempting to use. This I promise you. I offer to pay you the $650 and the rest on a payment plan, but you have not attempted to contact me and talk of these terms. Again, I state, email me back so we can discuss repayment. Sincerely, Jeremie." So that's what he wrote back to me. And again, I don't want to go through all these emails back and forth. A lot of them are kind of mixed together as I go on the email search, to look at past emails. But it's just crazy how reading through some of these and even stories and testimonies of other shady scams and businesses Jeremie had, from other people. Yeah, it just started to make me upset again. That's all. And again, I know people can say, "Sean, just leave it in the past, whatever." Again, I can't help myself, all right? This guy stole from me 14 and a half years ago, and this is somebody I've never forgotten about and a situation I never forgot about. And it's not that I think about it every day, but again, it does come back to me from time to time, and it just really hurts me. And I just hate living with this regret the rest of my life. So again, I'm still hoping and praying I get some restitution for what he stole from me. Combine that with the fact that he's going to spend many years in prison, and that can give me and even some other victims some peace of mind. I'm really hoping other victims can get paid back too, and they probably will, because like I said, a lot of people have contacted the FBI and Tony Brown, showing proof with pictures and things like that on what Jeremie stole from them through the cryptocurrency Ponzi scheme. And again, I know mine is different, but any money that can trickle down can hopefully come to me. Hopefully come to me. Sorry, I'm not always the best well-spoken. And it makes it hard too, because all these videos are filmed from beginning to end. None of them are really edited or anything like that. But had I had like the software or the apps to do that, I could probably make these videos come out a lot more organized and easier. Instead of the raw footage that I've been doing. But oh yeah, other things I wanted to mention too. And again, I do appreciate all the people who have texted me as well and contacted me, you know, on stories and things like that, and what they remember from Jeremie. Even people I don't really know, but people who knew him. So it just means a lot that I'm, getting people reaching me and just sharing that with me, because again, I was on the news and a lot of people saw me on there. And but basically, hopefully, for those of you who didn't know Jeremie, this is something I've been thinking of lately. Now, do you remember his house on Snow Drive? I think that was the name of the road. It was in Maricopa in the Villages. That's where I went to his house a lot, because I was living in Maricopa at the time. But then eventually he claimed to own some house. It was a pretty nice house on McDowell Mountain in Scottsdale. It was in a gated community, not all the way up on the mountain, but about halfway. And he had like the swimming pool and the hot tub, and then the little fence area overlooking the mountain. You could literally hike the mountain, from his backyard. Does anybody know if Jeremie actually owned that house? Because I know eventually after that, he lived in Scottsdale, maybe just 3 or 4 miles from that house, in some like small apartment. Meanwhile, he still was the owner of the other house, which, by the way, he sold it. He said he lost it, but he did sell it. And like I said, I should have collected the profit from that house, as stated in the contract. Not the contract Jeremie is, putting up the peace sign. There's other contracts and stuff too I have pictures of. But basically, I don't know what that's all about, or if he actually did own, that house on McDowell Mountain. Maybe it was like a rental, and he was just trying to boost his status, trying to make him look more rich and successful than he really was. It would be my guess. Because I know eventually he did move out of that. I've had other people tell me, or this one guy say, yeah, Jeremie's not living there. The house is totally empty, dude. He's not there. But then when I would confront Jeremie about it over the phone, he told me, yeah, I still live there. It's not empty. He was so sure of himself, but yet the other guy was very confident that Jeremie didn't live there and the house is empty. I believe him, not Jeremie, because Jeremie lies a lot. And it didn't make sense that he was living there, but still having most of his stuff in the Maricopa house. But basically, I was just wondering if anyone remembers that Jeremie was staying there or not, and whose house that really was. So if anybody knows, please let me know. I asked this one girl, because we've been chatting back and forth too. She's well aware of Jeremie and his, fraudulent businesses and all that. And, Jeremie tried to get her involved in the ACN, her and her husband, as a job opportunity, but, they backed it down. And she's always thought he was a fraudster and a liar. And sure enough, she was right. She got saved from going down that path of being deceived through the multi-level marketing. But anyways, I'll see what she has to say about that, because I remember seeing her at that house when Jeremie threw, one of his parties and stuff there. But anyways, I guess that will be it for now. Until next video. And again, I'm not sure how many more videos I'm going to send. I do notice there's about 6 people now subscribed. There used to be only 1 person, so I wonder who those people are, if they personally know me. Seems like a small amount of people have watched videos, 6 and 7. Now this is what, like the 8th video? The 8th part, I'm pretty sure. This could be the 7th. I gotta go back and look and label this correctly. But like I said, I don't know when these videos are gonna end. So I'm sure as more thoughts come to my head, or as I go down memory lane and dig up some other information, I could probably talk about that. But like I said, it helps me to film these videos because it helps me vent and release what I've been going through and these thoughts that I've been keeping to myself that many people have not been aware of these last 14 and a half years. So again, I'm doing this for my sake. But for those who do want to listen to hear what kind of person Jeremie was, or if you personally knew Jeremie and wanted to know the chapter of my life, so to speak, on when I knew him, that's cool. So hopefully other people can share their experiences and memories of Jeremie. Like I said, I'm hoping to meet some other victims down the road, and we could just go from there. So like I said, let's turn a negative into a positive, and just be grateful that this guy finally went to prison for a long time. Of course, he hasn't been sentenced yet. I'm curious to what his sentencing will be. He's probably going to find every way he can to spend less time there, knowing Jeremie. Although, again, a lot of people do that, right? Who wants to go to prison for multiple years? So, but it's definitely going to be a lot more court cases because a lot of his crimes he committed are very complex, and it's going to take a long time to get to the bottom of it. So, but anyways, I guess I'll leave it there for now. And again, please reach out to me if you have any questions or comments, or want any other information about Jeremie and some of the deals and stuff I had with him. I may or may share it, or I may or may not share it, depending on who's asking, I guess. But like I said, I know some of that stuff's very personal, and I'm not going to share everything specifically. I'm kind of embarrassed to go down memory lane, to be honest, because I still feel like I was very gullible and dumb and naive to just let him manipulate me like that and bully me. Oh yeah, that's another thing too. There's another email. I didn't pull it up, but he basically admits that he owes me $1 million dinar because I ordered 2 million in dinar, which was about $2,000 in dollars, right? It cost $2,000 to buy 2 million dinar, which the value of that dinar currency has gone down. So I'm actually losing money on the investment. I still have $1 million dinar in my safe. We're supposed to cash it in, I guess, when the Iraq economy goes up, whatever. It was kind of far-fetched investment, and other people told me about that too. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll put $2,000 in to get it, and then hopefully I could exchange that currency for a profit. But basically, I remember when I went to Jeremie's apartment. Again, this was his apartment in Scottsdale, not his house on McDowell Mountain. He gave me one stack. Now, again, I didn't know how much was in it until I went home and counted it. And I told him, I'm like, dude, I have $1 million dinar here. I paid for 2 million dinar. Where's the rest? And I remember Jeremie. He would say like, oh, I gave you the wrong stack. I'll give you the rest next time I see you. And again, shortly after, he eventually moved to Canada. And from that point, I never saw the guy again. But yeah, he owes me $1 million dinar. Because when I bought the $2,000 worth of dinar, which is again 2 million dinar, he claimed that someone had a sign for it and it was shipped to the house at his house in Scottsdale, McDowell Mountain. Again, I do have that address, by the way. If I pull up old records, I can find the address of that house. But yeah, he's like, someone needs to sign for it. It can't be shipped to me. Me. And then that explains why he collected it. But again, he pulled a fast one on me. I could have probably bought the dinar and had it shipped to me. I don't think any signature needed to be made. And that was all just a bunch of lies so he could steal the $1 million dinar from me. So it's just awful how he did that. And then he also admitted too that he owes me $650. Of course, we know it's way more than that. But in addition to him paying me the $650 and the $1 million dinar, after I write him the apology letter, then he would discuss a payment plan with me. Payment plan meaning the rest of the money he owes me. I mean, what's he going to do? Write me a bunch of checks again? Because he tried to do that last time in the form of IOUs. And again, when he moved to Canada, he closed the bank account down, left me a bunch of bad checks. And he left me like 7 bad checks. So, Yeah, so that's the situation with that. But again, I'm glad I kept all these emails. I'm glad I kept a lot of pictures, and especially for times like now when he finally got arrested and I could let the truth come out. So, but anyways, I will keep it at that for now. All right, you guys have a good night.